It's a once-in-a-lifetime chance. Who'll rule the world? Gotta see who'll rule the world.
Hello and welcome to the highlights of the first of the World Cup matches in 1992. The fifth World Cup to be played, and this opening game between Australia and New Zealand at Eden Park, Auckland. A lovely ground, slightly odd shape, but it looked, according to Tony Greig, to be in superb condition with a fast outfield and a pitch a little bit damp, could be a bit too paced, and might be difficult on which to chase runs. Martin Crowe, the New Zealand captain, won the toss and decided to bat. These are the team cards. First of all, the Australians, Alan Border leading, Geoffrey Marsh, the vice-captain, Dean Jones, and Mark Waugh, Tom Moody, Steve Waugh, Ian Healy, Peter Taylor. There's Craig McDermott and Bruce Reid, and Mark Taylor is the 12th man. And New Zealand have sprung a surprise. They're talking about having Rod Latham in at number one with John Wright, the experienced player. Latham is a very good all-rounder, strikes the ball very hard. Then there's Jones, Crowe, Rutherford, Harris, Smith, Cairns, Patel, Larson and Watson, and Mark Greatbatch is the 12th man. Craig McDermott bowled the first over. The first two balls were wides. John Wright takes strike to him now with 2 runs on the board for New Zealand.
Oh, he's bowled him 2 wides and he struck. That looked to me as if that ball hit the inside of the bat and then came back onto the stumps. But what a start for Australia. And how unlucky can you be? John Wright, all that experience. He's 37 years of age. Let's have another look.
Yes, the 2 wide, he exposed his leg stump. It must have hit the glove or the bat handle and come straight back onto the leg stump. McDermott can't believe his luck, and that's a great breakthrough. New Zealand 1 for 2.
Andrew Jones, he's played in 54 one-day internationals, plenty of experience, made over 2,000 runs.
Tremendous atmosphere, a lot of nerves about for all the players.
In the air and down to the boundary, square for 4. That one whipped away right off the meat of the bat. And the Kiwis in that area loving every second. A few of them bowing on the ground at the moment. There's the replay, right off the meat in the air, but wide of the fieldsman. Quick outfield ball.
Yes, it's going to be a fast scoring outfield, a big score here if you play your shots. And both those shots have been played on the onside, racing away for 4, 1 to Jones, 1 to Latham. So a good positive start by the top order, trying to play their shots.
Got him! No, he's dropped him! I can't believe it. Straightforward catch to Tom Moody, in and out. And that is also the end of the over. He'll be feeling like death warmed up. 1 wicket down, 12 runs on the board. Oh, well bowled. Oh, he's given him out, my goodness. That came as a surprise to the batsman. Well, I thought that bounced too much. My immediate reaction was going over the top. This is the replay. It's probably straight enough, but have a look where it hit him. He was going forward. What do you think, Bill?
Well, independent umpires are in vogue here in the World Cup. Put the finger up, the umpire eye hard, booing from the crowd. It's a bad start. It's 2 for 13.
And now it's Martin Crowe, the captain of New Zealand. He's not 30 yet, but have a look at those 50s, 24 of them.
And New Zealand is on the back foot already after just 4 overs completed.
That goes flying away towards square leg and well fielded. Did it go through him? No, it's not been well fielded. It's managed to sneak underneath the outstretched arm of Reid and into the fence just behind square down at in front of that big stand in the west side of the ground. Have a look at this.
It's a bit slow going down, Bruce Reid, probably just looking after himself at the early stages of the World Cup.
And big Tom Moody is being brought into the attack. Good shot. Really cracked it away, took full advantage of the shortness of the ball, and that's a fine shot for 4.
It was a fine shot, and not only that, but it has kept the New Zealand scoring rate up. They've been scoring quite briskly, even though they've lost the 2 wickets. It's a very fast outfield.
That's a good shot. just pushed it down the ground, and that's one of the short boundaries that Richie Beno was referring to earlier. And the outfield is very fast indeed, and really just a push drive by Martin Crowe, gaining in 4.
It's been a good performance from New Zealand. They're past the 50 mark, and we're not up to the end of the 15th over yet.
It's in the air and it's been taken, very well caught by Ian Healy. Rod Latham, opening batsman, is on his way. It's the 3rd wicket to fall. Short and wide delivery. Latham gave it the full flow of the bat. Only managed to get a toe end of it wide to Ian Healy, who, diving away to his right, takes the catch.
Well, a very good catch by Healy. Latham tried to do the right thing and take severe toll of that wide ball and get it away, but he's got the edge, and Healy taking that catch, a magnificent catch, a good breakthrough for Australia. Well bowled, Tom Moody.
New Zealand 3 for 53. So Ken Rutherford is the new batsman. Crowe, it's a slow one as the outfield is coming around. It's a valiant attempt by Dean Jones. The slowness of the pace of the wicket caused Martin Crowe to hit that much finer than he was aiming. He was aiming over mid-wicket. The ball in the end has gone to the boundary, but what a magnificent attempt by Dean Jones to get around and take the catch.
Yes, the right idea. Didn't quite go where he wanted it to go, but have a look at this now. Dean Jones, very, very quick, and boy, had he caught that, would have been a classic. But he just got his fingertips to it. In the air, down to square leg, one bounce into the fence for 4. Good shot. Can't afford to bowl short, and that brings up the 100 as well for the New Zealanders.
That was a great shot by Martin Crowe. The attacking short delivery here, attacking the short boundary, hooked it away perfectly right in the middle of the gap. There it is again. Fielder no chance of getting to it. One bounce 4.
We have a change of bowling here. Martin Crowe is the batsman, but Peter Taylor.
In the air and into the gap for 4. They started to get some rhythm, and that's where they're hitting him. Taylor won't be happy. That wasn't a very good delivery.
Well, the Australians have bowled a couple short just recently, and the New Zealanders have really latched onto them. Here it is again, short, and that's just where he wants it to be. There's a big gap in the mid-wicket boundary there, and here it goes again. There, straight over mid-wicket. There's a big gap, 4 runs.
Once again a short delivery, and once again to the fence it goes. So that one goes smashing into the fence, and that brings up Crowe's 50. He's made 50 off 88 balls, just 5 boundaries, 5 fours. Boy, do they need him to play a good knock today.
Here Martin Crowe once again getting onto the short pitch delivery and dispatching it for 4. He'd be delighted. I'm sure that's done his confidence a great deal of good. His first 50 in this World Cup.
War to continue. Mark War to bowl over the wicket.
Well, that's a very good shot. There are 2 men out there protecting the boundary. It wasn't a very good ball. It was woefully short, but it was very well put away indeed. And even though there are 2 sweepers out there, neither could get to it.
Well, just about all the Australian bowlers have bowled as though they're on a fast, bouncy Australian pitch.
So Reid back. And he's got it down between 2 fielders. Very accurately bisecting them. 4 more runs to Martin Crowe. And the Australians being punished for short bowling.
It may be that they're a little bit short of a gallop. As Border says, they haven't had as much limited overs practice as they would like coming into the World Cup. There are plenty of other matches to go. But certainly the bowling today has not paid much attention to the type of pitch on which they're operating.
Oh, what a glorious shot. Short ball pulled away, and now one pitched up, and he banged it through mid-off.
Just the sort of classic stroke you would have in a textbook or on a video showing you how to play the off drive.
So here's Mark Waugh, and trying to compensate for the short bowling over pitches, and is put away for another boundary. So runs really streaming here for New Zealand now. We've had 14 of the last 7 deliveries, and that's a half century for Ken Rutherford.
And a lot of his runs have come in that area from point to round to the gully area. That could be safe. It'll be a good catch if they get it. Border made the ground, but couldn't get himself into position. Very difficult chance, but that's 2 the Australians have put out today. First Tom Moody, and now the skipper Alan Border.
Apart from anything else, he had the umpire to consider as well, although I'm not sure if he got the figure of Kaiser Hyatt in the corner of his eye.
It'll be close, very close, he's out! Oh, great piece of fielding. Mark Waugh coming in. It's always going to be close. It must have been a photo finish. Rutherford, after a great innings, is found short by Waugh coming in. The underarm was one stump, and he made it.
Yes, here's the replay. Just push, Crowe just drops it down there, and Mark is right in there, direct hit on the stumps, and hardly in the picture. Yes, great bit of fielding there. Australia really did need that run out. 57 runs and 71 balls. Great performance by Rutherford.
Chris Harris, just 22 years of age, very nervous and keyed up in front of this big crowd. It's going to be Peter Taylor coming back into the attack. He gets a nice deflection, bad ball, he gets it away fine, it could go all the way down the hill. Marsh is coming around, he won't get there. Well, Harris picks up 6 runs, a good over. 4 for 178. Oh, a chance for a run out, he's gone. It'll be Harris, good thinking by Crowe, he kept coming. Once again it's Border at a cover position, makes a great save. And another run out, this time Chris Harris.
Harris pushed it into the covers. There you see the replay. Pushed it into the covers. Crowe set off. He thought it had beaten Alan Border, but a magnificent save by Alan Border there. And Harris, quite rightly, gets out of his crease to make sure that Martin Crowe, the informed player, is there. 5 for 191.
New batsman Ian Smith at the non-striker's end. Crowe's on strike. The last ball, he's gone for. That's a great shot. It's over the head of Boone. It could go all the way. Crowe finding the gap. That's 4. Oh, there it goes. 5 for 199 after 44 overs. Steve Waugh taking his time. He's a good bowler in the final overs when the pressure's really on. There's 4 men inside the circle trying to constrict the batsman for singles. This time he gets it squarer. There's a man there. That beats him. 4 runs. He picked that slower ball and swung it fine. New Zealand doing well in the final overs under pressure.
Yes, 2 slower balls, and this time, yeah, another slow one. This time he'd seen it the ball before, picks it up and drags it away on the leg side. 4 runs.
McDermott. Oh, well taken by Healy. Magnificent catch by Healy. A little inside edge went flying away and down the leg side, and boy, that's the second great catch he's taken. It went flying really fast and low, and Healy had his glove there and went straight in the middle.
One earlier diving away to the right, this time diving away to his left. What a good take that is. Ian Smith would have recognised it as a wicket keeper, just how good a catch that was, and he's on his way. New Zealand 6 for 215.
Ian Healy, what a great catch. And the new batsman is Chris Cairns.
Martin Crowe, he's on 94. He's played well enough to deserve a century.
All these Kiwis go mad if he hits a 6 for his 100. Oh, big appeal there. Is that out caught behind? He's not walking, and the ball is thrown down. And I tell you what, umpire Shepherd not very happy. Hands went to his hips there as Healy threw the ball to the ground, almost in disgust, and Border can't believe it either. They thought he got a big nick on that one.
Ian Healy not very happy with the decision.
Again, McDermott. Bowling to Crowe. Oh, good shot. Pulled it away. Jones dives, misses. 4. Magnificent pull shot. Right off the meat of the bat. And he moves on to 98. What a magnificent innings this is turning out to be.
A lot of power in that. Dean Jones makes a magnificent attempt again to cut the ball off. It wouldn't have mattered how big the ground was. That would have been 4 runs on any ground in the world.
Cairns is on strike. He's got 4. Crowe at the non-strikers end has 99. What an innings. This is the last over. And it's going to be Stephen Water bowling. Ball's through to the keeper. Try to hoik that one away. In fact, if he'd have hit it, he might have hit the scoreboard.
It's the right shot, a short delivery from Steve Waugh. Chris Cairns showing signs of having the intentions that his father showed with the bat, of hitting the ball as hard as he possibly could and as far as he could. Only one mistake on that occasion, no contact.
Be a pretty popular New Zealander, Cairns, if he doesn't manage to get Crowe the strike at some stage. He's got it away, that's 4. Got it away nice and fine. They brought the fine leg up because they wanted to one back at mid-on. It's gone flying away to the boundary for 4, so Cairns gets 4.
238 the total. Again, Cairns showing the right inclination. Steve Waugh again appeals for an LBW. Just happened to come off the middle of the bat.
Oh, Cairns has got the strike, and he's doing pretty well. 8 runs off 8 balls. 4 balls to go in this match. He's got that one away again, and that's 4 as well. What a good shot by Cairns. 3 balls to go. Martin Crowe remains on 99, not out. And Cairns making the most of it down the other end.
Steve Waugh hasn't done much wrong. He's bowled 2 balls in line with the stumps, but Chris Cairns is making room for himself by just sneaking across towards off stump, hitting them fine of the squarer, backward square leg. Alan Border has some problems here. There's not much that Steve Waugh can do about it. Chris Cairns is doing a great job for his side.
Yes, and Martin Crowe will be saying, mate, if you keep hitting those 4s, don't worry about my 99. And he's got that one away. They'll get 2 here. This might be 4 as well. Perhaps they'll get 3. Crowe's limping. Will he come back for the 3rd? Yes, he is. Cairns going for it too. The ball coming back at the wall. Just misses the stumps. And so a huge cheer from the New Zealanders. They're all out of their seat. The reason, well, their hero is on 99 and he's got the strike, and there are 2 balls to go. Well, he's going to have to go for the big one. He can't just look for the 1. He's going to want a 6 here. 2 6s, I suppose, with the last 2 balls. He's on 99. Waugh's the bowler. And he's got it away. That's 100 for Cairns. That's 100 for Crowe. And they're onto the ground. Oh, no. They're invading the ground. Crowe wants nothing to do with it. I can't believe this. They're spoiling what so far has been a magnificent occasion. The Kiwis can't help themselves. They're charging out onto the ground. And one feels sorry for those in the West Stand. Not one of them have come onto the field. But what an innings, Greg Chappell.
Magnificent innings, Tony, and a very fitting century here for Martin Crowe. He's had a very dismal season with the bat. He's had a pretty ordinary season as captain of New Zealand against England. And there you see his wagon wheel, the West Stand end at the bottom there, and he's got runs all round the wicket. He's hit 11 boundaries, strike rate of 74.6. The form has been off for most of the summer, but it's come back with a flow and a rush this afternoon. And there's a lot of frustration out there for the Australians in more ways than one. They've gone into this series as firm favourites. Alan Border has been uncomfortable with the fact that they've been favourite. He's been trying to chalk it all down during the week. Martin Crowe and the New Zealanders have been under pressure also, and they've come up trumps so far today.
This is the last ball. Down the leg side, no runs, so that's the end of the innings. No, he's given wide, he's given wide. Umpire Kissa Hayat from Pakistan has given wide. so he has to re-bowl that ball.
That has got to be one of the narrowest wides that has ever been bowled in any grade of cricket. It has just failed to flick the leg stump. Chris Cairns has gone across towards the off stump as he's done all of this over, making room for himself, and that ball has just missed the stumps.
Well, this is the last one, hits the pads, and they'll get a leg bye for this. So that's the end of a magnificent innings by Martin Crowe, an undefeated century. Cairns running for the dressing room as well. The crowd are pouring onto the ground here. This is not good to see.
That's a terrific performance from New Zealand. 249 Australia have to make. We were saying early on that 225 would be difficult to chase. 249 is an immense task, and all credit to New Zealand, who played wonderfully well after that bad start. This is the card with 100 for Martin Crowe and 57 for Rutherford, and good partnerships towards the end with Crowe and Harris adding 20, Crowe and Smith 24, and Crowe and Cairns 33. The bowling figures for Australia: McDermott 2 for 43, Reid 1 for 39, and Moody 1 for 37. The wicket takers: Steve Waugh took a hammering with 60 off 10, Peter Taylor 36 from 7, and Mark Waugh no wicket for 27. So a wonderful performance in front of a vast crowd here at Eden Park. Australia 249 to make. I think it is a very, very big ask.
Thank you, Richie. And here is Chris Cairns. Chris Cairns, who had the unique opportunity today to walk on to the field for the World Cup in a team which was led on by his father, Lance Cairns, leading the New Zealand team on with the New Zealand flag. Just the one slip there for Australia, and the other man in the close catching position there on the onside is a close in mid-on. So Australia on the way with a boundary. That's a short boundary down there, and the boundary which yielded many runs for New Zealand during their innings, and David Boone has benefited from it.
Magnificent shot by David Boone. Short boundary down there. If they're going to bowl there to him, he'll score 100 in no time at all, because he loves them on leg stump, and that gives you an example of how good he is in that area. So you have to stay just short of length, around about off stump to him.
It's a good shot. Outfield very fast indeed, and it's a long chase up there for Larson. Just pulls it back, but they've run 4, so it really didn't make all that much difference whether he caught it or not. Good shot by Boone.
That's the long, very long little corner of this ground. And Boone and Marsh will be aware that they've got to take advantage of these first 15 overs, where only 2 fieldsmen are allowed outside the circles.
It's gone through him, and that's a shortish boundary, and that's 4. So 2 boundaries in the over.
Yes, Wright won't be very happy with that. That's very straightforward, orthodox stuff for a test player. He's been around for a while. He'd be very upset himself. Just to his left a bit, but unfortunately didn't get his hands there, and it just slipped through.
Patel to continue with his right arm off spinner. As he swings it away, that's 4. That's a bad ball. You can hold of that. It was pitched short, and Boone doesn't miss many bad deliveries. Patel just losing control.
Of course, this is always the problem with a spin bowler bowling with a brand new ball too, isn't it? Because the only real bad ball that he's bowled, but he did drag that one down a little bit, turned, and of course that's in the arc for pulling away as Boone did, and a good shot, fine result.
Young Larson coming into the attack with his medium paces. Marsh driving in the air, gone! Good catch! Let's break the shackles. Good bowling by Larson. Marsh going for the drive, went to play, he dived forward, took the catch. The first wicket's down. Listen to that crowd roar at Eden Park.
Yes, the New Zealand crowd here is really up, really excited about the fact that the pressure's been put on, and here he drives it. It's not quite there, and a brilliant catch in the covers.
1 for 62. Dean Jones taking guard. The first wicket is down. It's 1 for 62. Dean Jones coming in at a good time. Bright sunny afternoon as Gavin Larson picks up the first wicket of Jeff Marsh, caught by Rod Latham at cover point. Good catch. Jones cuts it in the air, flies past the vacant slip cordon. 4 runs. So the nervous Jones gets off the mark with a slash. Plenty of bat on that one. No slip in, so maybe Martin Crowe should have put a little bit of pressure on Dean Jones. He's a nervous starter. His weakness is just about there. He cuts and races away for 4.
Yes, that's the safest shot in limited over cricket. If there are no slips there, it's 4 runs as well, and that'll get Jones off to a start, build up his confidence a bit.
That has picked up the run rate for Australia there. Australia now 1 for 84. As Rod Latham comes into the attack. Dean Jones looking to put the pressure on the New Zealand fielders. It's a short boundary and he's in trouble. He's on his way. Dean Jones tried to take on the fielder there. Chris Cairns moving in from the square leg boundary. It's a fairly short boundary there. Dean Jones very fast between the wickets, but on this occasion not fast enough.
Yes, Dean Jones very quick between wickets, but here the short boundary and clipped away to backward square, and Cairns comes running in, and like a baseball pitcher, he picks it up. Now he takes on Dean Jones, and it is a great throw right next to the stumps, and he's not there. Oh. 2 for 92. Right, the new batsman Alan Border, captain of Australia. He's got a hard task ahead of him now. He's got to keep the rate going.
Martin Crowe, the New Zealand captain, doing some field changes as he reintroduces Deepak Patel to the bowling attack. Patel was the surprise opening bowler along with Chris Cairns. There's the single that David Boone needs for his 50. Played very well. Again, he's got Australia away to a good start. At the end of the over, 2 for 96. Pick the gap. There's no fieldsman down in the deep fine enough to cut that off as Australia brings up their 100. 103 now for the loss of 2 wickets. 27.3 overs gone. So David Boone continues to lead the Australian batting. David Boone decides to use his feet this time and uses Alan Border's feet as well. Deflection down to deep mid-on. Takes him along to 56. He really does look impressive at the moment.
Yes, I think David looks as though he's really quite keen to get after the bowling right at the moment.
Alan Border does take some risks here. There's a fieldsman in the outfield. He's come around, taken the catch.
Chris Cairns once again struck to a great catch in the deep there. Alan Border went on the sweep against the spin, and as a result the ball went up in the air a little bit, enough to carry all the way through to Chris Cairns. Very good catch and a very important wicket at this vital time. There it is again, on the sweep, turns a little bit. Cairns running around the boundary. Great running catch. Well done, Chris Cairns. Australia 3 for 104.
Tom Moody, we know that he is a big front foot player, likes to hit the ball hard. There's still a lot of depth and talent left in the Australian order, so they must still think that they can get these particular runs that are required.
That's a very short boundary on that side. Umpire Shepherd will just check with the fielder, see what happened there.
More runs here for David Boone, likely to be 4. It is 4. And it's just the odd ball that Deepak Patel and the New Zealand bowlers just tends to get just a little bit wide and gives the Australian batsmen room to free their arms and play the shot. That's well played by Boone. That's 4 more.
It was an interesting move to bring Deepak Patel on to open the bowling.
And there's another wicket there. Tom Moody is out, caught and bowled by Rod Latham. So Australia now lose their 4th wicket. All of a sudden there's a little bit of tension around the place again for the Australians. So from being a little more relaxed as the day went on, all of a sudden the dressing room will be a little bit nervous. So the new batsman will be Steve Waugh, who will join David Boone, and Australia now under pressure at 4 for 120.
It's a brilliant catch by Latham. Moody goes, and Australia 4 for 120 in the 31st. Mark Waugh is the new batsman. The required run rate now 7.29. Larson is the bowler. And LBW, Mark Waugh. And even though he was pushing forward, he didn't seem to me to be going very far forward. We can check that on the replay, but there's 5 wickets down now, and New Zealand are doing it well.
Yes, he does tend to hit across the line just a fraction. Mark Waugh, Larson bowling stump to stump. He's pretty close, so he doesn't go very wide. Let's have a look at that one. Well, he was a fraction forward. By judging, it would have hit the stumps. Disappointing end for Mark Waugh and 2 young lions, Moody and Waugh, missing out in this World Cup start here at Auckland, and all of a sudden the crowd going mad. It's 5 for 125. Yes, and Steve Waugh needs a big innings. Comes to the crease because his brother's been adjudged LBW. He's played 122 one-day internationals, an average of 31.4. Waugh gets an edge, a good educated edge. That'll go all the way. Will it? Man's coming across, yes. Good play by Stephen Waugh, opening the face of the bat. Watson just with a bit of width. That's what's needed. The odd boundary or 2 per over.
Here's the replay. Just opens the face. This is the best shot in one-day cricket. Don't set a field for someone hitting the ball that fine outside the off. 4 runs.
Can New Zealand beat Australia? It would be a great upset for the start of the World Cup. The game's not over yet. 9.7 required. Boone thrashes at deep cover. Will he get it? No, he won't. Glorious shot by David Boone. He moves to 89. So Boone and Steve Waugh fighting hard to get the 249 for victory.
Yes, Dean Boone was down the wicket there. Get after. There he goes, down the wicket. Magnificent drive, right in the gap. Nobody on the boundary there to come close to saving that one. Hit it brilliantly.
Full toss, bad ball. That's 4 more. So Boone doing the job. Watson just losing his rhythm and his length. Boone pushes it away for 4 more.
Yeah, Watson bowls a full toss at David Boone, and happy birthday. He accepts that present, and away it goes. 4 runs.
The risks now having to be taken by Steve Waugh, but again finds the gap, and with the odd-shaped ground that we have here at Eden Park, those square boundaries on the leg side and round a fine leg from down that western stand end, very close.
Well, Australia really making a big play now to get to 249 to win this match. It looked as though New Zealand were really squeezing them and Australia were being played out of this match, but in the last couple of overs it's turned around and again delicately poised.
It's in the air, it's in the gap also, straight into the side screen, and that is 6, and that's a very good finish to the over. 11 runs coming from it, 5 for 196 Australia. There's his century. It's been a very good innings for Australia. Another fine innings from David Boone. Martin Crowe showed us this morning his batsmanship, and David Boone has matched that this afternoon. So a pretty important innings for Australia, 11 boundaries. He's faced 133 balls in bringing up his century.
And the New Zealand crowd here at Eden Park very appreciative too of this performance by David Boone. Been a very responsible performance. If you see if that wagon wheel there, I mean, he's been very good all round the wicket, hasn't he, with cuts and pulls and nudges, deflections, drives. I mean, it's all been there today. A complete performance by David Boone. Well played.
It's in the air, he's dived and he's taken the catch. Well, that was in the air for a long time. It was coming back slowly, but Gavin Larson had to throw himself to his right and forward, and Steve Waugh is on the way, and it's a crucial wicket for the New Zealanders, and Australia again are under pressure. So you can't afford to lose wickets at this stage. It slows the momentum. A very good piece of cricket.
That ball a bit short. Steve Waugh coming down the wicket, bounced a bit, bottom hand, and Gavin Larson, my word, he did well to take that catch. A very important wicket for New Zealand, tragedy for Australia, because Waugh has played very well indeed.
The game very much alive, 6 for 199. There's the 200 up for Australia. Ian Healy's a good worker of the ball. There's another chance for a run out. It's a direct hit, and there it is. Another wicket for Australia, for New Zealand.
That's Boone. That is a big wicket. David Boone, who's just scored 100, has been dismissed. A direct hit. Not sure who threw it. Probably Chris Harris, I would think. And now that really puts a lot of pressure on Australia. That's the wicket. Should in fact decide the outcome of this particular match. Well played by Healy. I think that's Chris Harris coming round there. It is indeed. He's a marvellous fielder. Direct hit. Boone well out of his ground. And that could be ball game, Greg.
Just what the doctor ordered as far as New Zealand is concerned. A magnificent innings of 100 by David Boone. He's out, run out. It's 7 for 200. Craig McDermott comes out now to join Ian Healy, and the pressure is really on for Australia. Across the line, they've got to run for everything, and that's another run out, and Australia are on the ropes. Trying to run for everything. Chris Harris following through. Underarm for through to the wicketkeeper Ian Smith, and Craig McDermott wasn't even in the photograph. Now 8 for 205. Almost the last throw of the dice here for Australia. Peter Taylor coming out to join Ian Healy. 44 runs required from 19 balls. In the air, and that's gone. And so may well be Australia as Ken Rutherford takes the catch. The New Zealanders are delighted.
Peter Taylor looking to chip that over mid-wicket. He timed it well enough, and he picked out the fieldsman, headed straight to him. And this crowd here, around about 25 to 30,000, going berserk at Eden Park, and rightly so. They were the underdogs. They made 248 for 6, and now they're defending that total brilliantly in the first round of the World Cup. An upset defeat almost certainly here for Australia. It's 9 for 206.
Bruce Reid, the long and lanky left-hander, has the responsibility of helping Ian Healy score 43 runs to win this game. The last man out is Peter Taylor. Willie Watson's 50th wicket in limited over cricket. Fairly straightforward catch for Rutherford there in the mid-wicket position. The only fieldsman inside the circle on the leg side. Peter Taylor timed the ball beautifully. His placement either perfectly perfect or perfectly imperfect. Reid has hit it in the air. That's the end of the game. That's it. New Zealand has won. A surprise victory here, and 30,000 New Zealand supporters, well, a fair percentage of them are going to make a dash to congratulate their team as they head off the ground. Apart from the 14 members and the close members of the New Zealand team, there weren't too many New Zealanders who expected their team to be walking or running off the ground this afternoon with a surprise victory here in the first of the World Cup games for 1992.
Well, there'll certainly be a lot of New Zealanders with far more confidence about their players and their team and their chance in the World Cup after today. And that's because they outbowled the Australians first of all, then they outbatted them and they outfielded them. Martin Crowe and Alan Border were level on captaincy, but it was a great performance by New Zealand, and they kept Australia down to such an extent that they won by 37 runs with 11 balls to spare. This final card for the Australians, 211, an outstanding effort from David Boone, 100 from just 133 balls. He didn't face an excessive number of deliveries there to make that three-figure score, 211, and it was great defensive work by New Zealand. The bowling figures, Cairns started off badly, 4 overs for 30. May have been that he had a spinner at the other end. Patel, 10 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 36, and Watson, 1 for 39, Larston, 3 for 30, Harris, 1 for 35, Latham, 8 overs, no maiden, 1 for 35. And splendid defensive work in the field and wonderful batting by Martin Crowe, who was named player of the match. Tremendous performance from him and also from the whole of the New Zealand side, who lifted themselves out there from Eden Park, Auckland, with New Zealand the victors in the first game over Australia. It's goodbye.